it's hot. It's hot today. Right, let's go around here. Yeah, she's a bit nice, isn't she? Right, hello, this is Pixie doing another video. And something dawned on me today about global warming and how people can do their bit. They're worried about humans' contribution to the weather. I mean, I think there's more to it than that. It's sun cycles and all sorts of things. Like, it's really hot today. I've just been doing a job for a client, and yeah, pretty hot work. I come out, it's fairly cool, got in the car, it's red hot, okay, like a greenhouse. It's just a level of radiation that's been knocked out by the sun, really. So yeah, coming back to what I thought about was, well, how could we work to support maybe the de-escalation of anything that we're doing, if that's what's going on. It's you know, because I think the government just like to stick taxes on people, to be honest. That's how they deal with a problem, is to stick a tax on it, which doesn't really do anything. It just makes life more harder to live, basically. So you should be able to get around that. So, I mean, people who've got green space, there's a tendency for us to keep pruning things, cutting it back. But the problem by doing that is that we're not necessarily helping the environment by keep cutting back things. So if we was to just let a patch of our ground overgrow, you could be making a massive difference, especially with the temperatures soaring, because you get more shade, which stops the ground getting so hot, and then the loss of through evaporation. There will be some evaporation. As plants grow bigger, their root systems grow deeper, and so they'll be tapping water further down, which spreads out the impact of drainage and absorption by plants. A larger plant can retain so much of its fluid. I mean, some of them will suffer from drought. And what normally happens is the leaves just start dropping off and turning brown and all sorts. They can't handle it. I mean, people can also add plants that are not normally grown in the UK, but the UK is a kind of destination for, I guess, migration. It's been used as a platform, being sort of this island, and I just had a little thought there. And there's also the impact if you damage a plant. There we go. Yeah, a plant's got to heal from any damage. Yeah, I want to do that as well. I'm waiting for it to come out. There's sort of a gap that I indicate. I don't want to cause loads of traffic to start stopping. It might do. There we go, that's all good. So yeah, I mean, basically when you cut things back, it takes a while to recover, and I think if you just leave an ecosystem intact, and then also work with it. How are the plants responding to weather changes, warmer weather? And you know, like I say, more shrubs over an area and other plants, it may protect from certain types of frost, maybe, because it acts as a barrier. all the plant absorbs the brunt of it. I should have turned it. So yeah, I mean, there's not much I can do indoors. I mean, the only thing I can sort of contribute is growing plants indoors, which I have done. I've actually started growing trees as well. They're a bit hit and miss at the moment. They don't know what they want to do, whether they get too dry. The cactuses don't mind. I don't need to water them much because when it does rain, moisture comes in, they absorb it straight through their skin. They've got a different way of processing. I mean, it needs a little bit of water in the roots, but not a lot. And that's why I've had some issues, not necessarily big issues with sort of crossover if you've got more than one plant in a pot. If you get it right, they sort of complement each other. If you get it wrong, maybe not. And I guess maybe the other project would be introducing, see if I can adopt a bit of land somewhere. I can introduce certain plants there, and there might be some areas where they don't get touched. You know, they're just areas where people walk through, and do a bit of that. The other thing I'm looking at is I wouldn't mind doing a bit more like paranormal research. I mean, there's a lot of it I can do. I can pick up on things, but then someone said, "Well, how do you know he's not just sort of making this stuff up or imagining it?" Because you can do it yourself. Maybe that's the principle. If you pick up on something, you might think, "Oh, well, that validates something what's said," or if something's brought up and then you have a similar conclusion, but then that's kind of appealing to people's sort of algorithm they have, you know, like interests and beliefs. If you find people that think similar on certain points of view, you're drawn to them, but then if you don't agree with their opinion, you're pulled away, and then you can get caught up in a conflict where you agree to some stuff and you disagree with other stuff, and you need to be sure what you think's right or what you think's wrong in that situation, which gets really complicated. But yeah, I wouldn't mind maybe getting a bit of equipment. I was looking on eBay, because where else would you find paranormal stuff? I mean, you probably could look up some sites. I think once you've got a company name, then you can look up the product and price. But it's also, you don't want to sort of overpay out for things. And you want to see the reviews as well, which you've got to do, look at the reviews. I mean, there's no point getting a piece of equipment that actually all it does is repeat certain phrases and chucks them in there, because then it's just entertainment, purely entertainment. Because if you take this device anywhere, it would say, you know, demon or something. Yeah, so I have to have a look at see what available equipment there is and the price. I mean, I've been doing a bit of crypto stuff. I can pull back from that because I've got everything. I think when you set up investments, you can just leave them. I mean, the only thing you really got to be conscious of is the Bitcoin performance, and if you're into crypto, because it impacts on the general price of everything. And then also what you're investing in. I mean, if it hasn't really got anything going for it, then in the long run it's not going to go anywhere. It needs to have some sort of tokenomics in there. So there's a couple of things I'm looking at with like lottery payouts. They just pay out loads of tokens. You know, to some lucky holder. They also reward by staking, and they've got other side projects on as well. So you know, if I leave that, come back to it in a year, I might have won a load of tokens, or you know, something might have happened. And some other things is that probably best to wait till I've got some equipment before, if I go to investigate anywhere. I've got to stay in a hotel, get a review in a hotel, because there's a place not too far from here. But might as well make the most of it. It's probably going to be quiet and not a lot going on. I wouldn't mind visiting a graveyard with a device like that. See what information's picked out. And the other thing is, when you're using that, is to also sort of open your mind up to it, because you might get an impression that a device can't give you. But classically, you don't. Something I did pick up, you don't have to talk aloud and say, "Are you there?" or whatever, because the problem is that they will, an entity will pick up on your thinking, not necessarily your talking, because they haven't got ears. So you can imagine what they might be, but the same way as they've got eyes, they might be sensing your energy field. They know something else is there, and it's acting, and they're probably observing it. And then, you know, depending on how it's trying to engage with that. But if you've got a room full of people and they're all thinking different things, then you'll get a mixed result. You know, some people are actually not trying to look for something at all. They're just trying to make a video for the sake of it, I think. Yeah, we'll go in the corner. That happened. So yeah, so I think I set myself some projects. You know, what you're going to do with your time. It's some interesting stuff. I was quite interested to see another channel called The Secret Vault, and it had some stuff in Reading where they just seem to have got in really easy. I thought, oh. But if you're going to explore a building, you best do it as a pair, just in case. Just in case, let's say the floorboard, your foot went through the floorboard and you end up getting stabbed in the leg and you couldn't walk. You've got backup. We definitely need have your mobile on you and everything. Anyway, let's sign off. Have a great one, and speak to you soon. Bye.